Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Peter here. Today's video is Bourbon from the house of Hendley. This is called Bourbon because of a couple of reasons. It's actually matured in an oak barrel, like a whiskey would be. It has cognac essential oil in the opening. It also uses the vanilla variety of bourbon, bourbon vanilla. What I get out of this, I actually don't pick out the cognac directly. I don't think it's an alcoholic fragrance, but it does give what you would think of as a boozy like vanilla. So although I don't smell cognac, I would say that it's a boozy vanilla. I get a lot of the resin straight away. It feels very ambery and warm. I almost get kind of like a spicy nuance, even though spices aren't listed. I don't particularly get the citruses in the opening. It has orange in the opening. That doesn't shout out too much to me. I think it's kind of subtle. I mainly get the sweetness of the vanilla with these warm resins, a hint of something that feels like a spice even though it might not have spices in there, but it's very warming and rich. My first impression of this, I didn't really pick out the Castoreum. It has Castoreum in here. For anyone that doesn't really know what Castoreum smells like, my best description of it is imagine a piece of old brown leather that's been singed by a fire. It's slightly smoky and leathery. When I really think about it, I do get a little bit of Castoreum, but I will be completely honest, if it wasn't written down in front of me as that I know it's in there, I would have never have said. So I don't think it's, to my nose at least, an obvious note unless you know it's there. But when you really think about it, knowing it's there, you do get kind of an almost leathery, slightly smoky vibe. So I can see it being there in the opening. Someone did mention in the comments previously when I did that overview that the Castoreum was very loud on them, like it was a very dominant note. I can honestly say my sample isn't like that. I don't get a heavy Castoreum. I think it's a very light kind of a touch. So that's all I can say is that's not my experience. I don't get a whole lot of change in the fragrance. It kind of, what you get is kind of what you get for the fragrance. I would say it tones down a bit in the dry down, and what comes out more in the dry down is I feel like the vanilla kind of dissipates. I think bourbon vanilla isn't particularly a gourmand style vanilla note. I have some bourbon vanilla and it's more woody. It's not really sweet and gourmand. It's more of a complex woody kind of smell. You can almost not mistake it for not even being vanilla sometimes. So don't expect this to be, you know, a heavily gourmand fragrance because of the vanilla. I would say this is a boozy vanilla, a little bit dry with a lot of rich warm ambers and the nuances of the wood coming through. The fact that it's being kind of toasted in an oak barrel, so to speak, it does have those woody nuances. As it dries down, I feel like the vanilla kind of tones away, but the tonka comes through in the dry down. You definitely get the unique sweetness of the tonka coming through. I think you actually get the gaiac wood as well, which is quite a specific kind of smell. I do actually get a little bit of the oak moss in the dry down. I would say it's more subtle, but it's there if you dig for it. In my opinion, it's completely unisex. I think a man or a woman would smell great. I actually really like it. It's a fall winter fragrance, very warm and cozy and rich. In terms of performance, on my skin it's very good. I get 9 to 10 hours longevity with about 2 hours of a modest projection. It's not loud, but it's definitely noticeable for a couple of hours. If I had to compare this to another fragrance, which I don't really like to do, but one does come to mind, by Kilian Amber Oud. I would say if you're a fan of Amber Oud, which is another vanillic, ambery, rich fragrance, I would almost guarantee that you will like Bourbon. It does remind me of Amber Oud, but the problem with Amber Oud is that this one lasts 5 hours. Bourbon gives 10, so it's double the performance of the by Kilian. I think a lot of people will like this. I can imagine this being probably maybe one of his best sellers. I'm impressed with the house. I think he has an excellent nose. I think he blends very well. You can tell when you smell them that a lot of thought and time has gone into them, balancing them. Like, you can feel that it's a well-crafted fragrance. I don't think these are rushed. I think a lot of time's been spent getting them just the way he likes them. And I think that definitely shows, even down to the presentation. I mean, you can't really probably see this on the camera, but even the labels on the samples have this kind of pearl kind of shine to them. Little touches like that just impress me. I think they're very good quality. That's it, guys. Looking forward to reviewing more from this house. Like I say, I'm impressed. They're definitely worth checking out. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you again next time. Take care, guys. Bye.